Yo, what is going on, guys? So on today's episode, women are in panic as men are checking out of society for good. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's jump right into the video.
So let's discuss the old age question. Does body count matter? Let's take males out of this equation completely, which to them, a lot of them, it still does matter. Let's just discuss female and the role that we play in this and why it matters to us. So we release a chemical, and this chemical is a love hormone. Every single time we have a new partner, we get attached to them, whether or not we choose to or not, because that's just how our body works. Men don't have this. So every single time we're having a new sexual partner, we're attaching ourselves emotionally to them without really wanting to, or it's just something that we can't control. So imagine the higher your body count, you're getting attached to all of these people, and it's going to affect how you attach to someone in the future, because if you have a high body count, you're emotionally less available.
Men have been saying this for years and got called insecure for it, by the way, and they still are. Now there's a hormone attached, so suddenly it's science. This has been true the whole damn time, guys.
Women will say strong men are intimidated by powerful women. What they usually mean by powerful woman is a bad bitch, a girl that's beating her chest out there, kicking ass in the world and taking names. Men are not intimidated by this. They're just not interested in it. There's a difference. What strong men are interested in is peace, respect, kindness, tranquility. They're interested in a homemaker. They're interested in somebody that can provide something for them that they can't provide for themselves. We can already go out there in the world and kick ass. We can already do that, and that's our job. That's what we're doing. So we don't need that as a strong man. Now, as a bad bitch, you're going to get attention from a lot of guys. They're just going to be guys looking at you as a paycheck. They're going to be looking at you as their mother figure and someone who's going to provide for them. So you as a woman, if that's what you're looking for, great. You're going to get a lot of that. But strong men aren't interested in that because we're already doing it. We don't need somebody to provide for us. We need somebody to provide our home, our safety, our shelter, our love, our respect, our connection, our emotional and physical intimacy. That's what strong men are looking for.
Nobody is intimidated. That is the part they cannot accept, that men looked at the boss babe act and just were not interested. Wanting a calm house and a woman who adds to it is not a weakness. Plenty of guys gave up explaining that years ago.
Modern women do not want to be strong and independent anymore. We have told men we don't need them. We can do it all by ourselves. And we're actually to the point where men are saying, fine, do it yourself. Good luck. The sad thing is these women are all going to be old. I just know how this rhetoric goes. Women never say this at 19, but at 29, we do say this.
At 19, that line sounds bold. By 29, she's finding out that men took her at her word. Nobody is coming back to argue about it.
Here's what's true. I am tired of being strong. I am ready to be safe. That should be a viral sound, because I know ladies out there, and give me a little heart, like this post, because I know you know. We are tired of being strong, friends. We are tired, men, of being strong. The women who pick up everything, do everything, take care of everything. We want to be soft. We want to stop pushing and working so hard. We want the kind of men who lead so that we can sit back and receive. Tired of being strong, ready to be safe. I bet you that's 110% of the women around you right now. Ladies, let me know.
Tired of being strong is what they all say once being strong stops being fun for them. A man willing to lead was there for years and she passed on him. Now she wants the safe version without admitting what she traded for it. Men are not lining up to volunteer for that.
Calling all the men who think their wives have gone insane. Your wife is probably between the age of 35 and 45. She has no libido. She has no interest in being intimate with you. In fact, you breathe wrong. You smell wrong. You're doing everything wrong. She has no motivation. She's tired all of the time, not just as an excuse at night, but literally tired all the time she's taking naps. She never did that before. You're wondering, where did my wife go? She doesn't participate in any of the hobbies that used to light her up. You don't remember the last time you have seen her lit up. She complains a lot about her body aching. She's taking a lot of ibuprofen, maybe a little extra wine. She just feels and looks.
Every symptom on that list points at the husband, who apparently just has to wait it out. No interest, no energy at all, and he's the one being told to be patient. Married men know this rundown by heart, and none of them are surprised.
Meh. And it doesn't seem like any amount of romance, helping around the house, motivation, nothing you do is helping. Maybe you're even already going to marriage counseling because she thinks it's you. She probably already went to her doctor and asked for help with libido and her tiredness and all of it. And her doctor probably said, it's probably your marriage. And so then she came home and signed you up for marriage counseling. Or maybe I'm talking to the man that it's too late and you're hearing this after you've been separated or divorced. This is perimenopause. It is destroying relationships because nobody, no doctors, not the women and not the men, know that this is happening, and everyone is blaming the husband and the relationship. So I want to hear your story. Share in the comments what has been going on. Did you know about perimenopause? Does all of this sound like your wife? Let's figure it out together.
So he does the flowers, he does the chores, he does the counseling, and none of it counts. And then the doctor sits him down and starts poking at the marriage. A man can do everything right and still get handed the blame anyway. That is the part that she goes right straight past.
You know, something that I notice is I'll see a lot of women when they talk about dating and stuff, when they talk about meeting a man in the wild, right? They'll be like, men just don't approach me. I don't know why. And like, I have such a hard time meeting people that every time I go out and I want to meet someone in the wild, no one approaches me. And then it's like, I'm sure there's many reasons why each individual person won't approach you. But have you ever thought that maybe all the women online saying, leave women alone, we don't want to talk to you, stop approaching us and trying to get our numbers, leave us alone? Don't you think that maybe there's gonna be men that are gonna hear that and be like, oh, okay. And then when they go out, even if they want to approach a woman that is seeking for someone to approach them, they're like, nah, it's just better if I just don't even bother, because then I don't want her to get all upset or even go make a TikTok about it. Like, I'm just gonna not approach her because girls been screaming how they want to be left alone and don't want to get approached. But then I see women that are like, men never approach me. And again, I'm not saying that's necessarily the case for everyone. You know, like, I'm sure there's men that they're not interested. They're in a relationship and they're loyal, or they are intimidated. But I can't help but feel there is a huge demographic that women say they want to be left alone, so they leave them alone. Because when they see women preaching that, they're like, oh, let me leave her alone because she might be like one of those girls that say to leave them alone, so I'm just going to leave them alone. You feel me? It's just an observation I'm making.
Years of telling men to back off, and men finally did it. Now the same crowd wants to know where everybody went. Men don't get blamed for approaching and blamed for not approaching. Pick one.
I don't think people realize how exhausting it is to be the strong one. The one who makes everything look easy, even when it's not. But you know what? I stopped resenting it because somewhere along the way I realized God made me that way on purpose. He knew who could carry the weight and still worship, who could be overlooked and still overcome. He trusted me with strength because he knew it wouldn't turn me bitter. It would turn me bold. Yeah, it get lonely sometimes, but I stopped waiting for people to check on me when I realized God never stopped covering me. He saw every tear I did not post, every prayer I whispered under my breath, every battle I fought in silence. And he still gave me grace to get up and keep going. So now I wear my strength different. It's not pride, it's purpose. It's knowing that being the strong one isn't a burden, it's a calling. Because somebody's watching how you handle pressure. Someone's learning faith by watching you not fold. So yeah, it's exhausting, but it's also an honor. Because if God gave me the strength to handle it, that means that he's preparing me to hold what's coming next. Strength does not make me hard, it makes me chosen. And remember, God does not miss.
Being overlooked gets rebranded as divine assignment, which is a very tidy way to dodge the question. Nobody is checking on her, and that turns into proof that she is special. The men that she wrote off years back are doing fine. None of that story gets her out of an empty house.
So this woman was in a restaurant. She's looking around and all she sees is other women. Nobody on a date. No man and woman on a date. Just women, as she said, dating each other. So the commentary is that men don't want to be on dates anymore. They don't want to go out with women because it's a waste of time and money. So my question is, do men ever like going on a date? Do men like going on dates? They like going to restaurants and trying different foods and things like that. Is it something that they only did because women like to do it? Like if I'm going to get in a relationship and I say I want to go to a restaurant, am I making him do something that he doesn't want to do? A lot of men say they just rather stay home. But what do you guys think?
A restaurant packed with women and not one man picking up a tab. Oh, the horror, guys. Most men never enjoyed dating realistically. They did it because there is a reason and they thought that the women were actually worth dating in the first place. Now that the women are not really worth dating, what the hell is the point of the dates?
So Gen Z isn't having any sex. And apparently this is like a really big question for the culture as to why it's not happening. And my question is like, do any of you guys have like, friends? Like, have any of you guys sat down with a woman recently? Because I don't think I've had any casual conversation about dating with anyone my age with a woman, without her just like completely lamenting the dating prospects. Talking about how awful these men are. None of them are making any moves. When they do make a move, they want to take you on a date by like driving you around. They're completely addicted to pornography and want to reenact that with you. I put a lot of the blame on dating apps because I do think there's something about streamlining the dating process that made dating simultaneously seem more accessible, but actually completely inaccessible because everyone is under the assumption that they just have like limitless options. There's always another fish in the sea. You can always go after another person. And men on some level are definitely trained to believe that like the more women that they have sex with and the more women that they have that are romantically interested around them, like that kind of like bolsters their reputation. So men have like a vested interest in trying to like maximize the amount of women that they have access to, which is obviously a huge turnoff if you are the woman who's interested in a man, if he's just like interested only in building a roster, basically like there's just a growing sex divide between men and women. I think porn is to blame and dating apps are to blame.
Infinite options wrecked dating, and that part is true, but what she leaves out, guys, is that the options predominantly are actually chosen by a very small percentage of men and the vast majority of women, which is the thing that these people conveniently leave out. Men worked out the game was rigged and logged off. Women are still on there wondering where everybody went and why nobody is actually committing to them.
You guys know about trad wives? Okay, so there's a whole pool of women now who I wouldn't call them right-wing, but they're a right-wing adjacent. You know, there are women out there now that are trad wives. They're traditional housewives. They're all hot and they're all like, I cook every meal for my man and the minute he gets home, I just want to please him. Some of you women out there watching this are like, OMG, I'm a trad wife. They're usually all beautiful and it's giving 50s housewife aesthetic. In the kitchen, meal prepping, maybe making a casserole, baking. They're traditional housewives. They're very modern and very attractive.
Women cooking for their husband is being reported on like it's a strange new trend. That setup built every family that she's ever met that has been successful. There is nothing new about it. It just stopped being fashionable for a while.
What I find really fucking comical, me and all my liberal friends want to be traditional housewives. Well, not all of us, but most of us. But the problem is we don't like Republican men because they don't have the same sense of justice and morality that we do, because we care for every human being. And the liberal men don't believe in exploiting themselves for labor, so like we have to have an equal household, because the only ones that bust their ass and make enough money to support a stay-at-home mom, wife, whatever, are the Republican men, because they will exploit the shit out of themselves for money. Then they're miserable and burn out and take it out on everyone around them and refuse to take meds. So it's like, I'd rather be alone.
So she wants the stay-at-home life and refuses the only men who reliably will fund it for her. Her friends all want it too, they just won't say who's paying. Men are supposed to hand over their salary and take the insults with it. That deal is not going to get signed by men.
If men are no longer coming up to women, if men are no longer reaching out from friends of a friend to find a wife, how are we supposed to be getting married? through dating apps. And yes, I use dating apps like In Pairs. We love them. But what happened to the times where a man used to see you at the masjid and be like, yo, who is that sister? Let me go ask someone to ask someone to ask somebody if she's single, and if she is, let me talk to her mahram. Like, what happened to those days? What happened to them? What happened to them? I have started to realize that women are now the ones that do that. When I was in Korea, I witnessed it, a woman seeing a man that she thought was very attractive and her asking someone to ask someone to ask somebody to see if he was single. And when she found out he was, she was like, oh my gosh, please give him my number. I have found that women are now taking that approach, that more forefront approach, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Personally, I'm very pretty princess. You're gonna talk to me. I would never go up and talk to a man. No, we're not doing that. So it's like, why do men no longer do it? Tell me. I'm just so curious. And it's like, you can't say rejection. Rejection happens in all aspects of your life. That shouldn't stop you from taking a chance. You never know. I could be the one for you. Just come and have a talk.
Tracking a woman down used to be a romantic thing, and now it gets a man reported. Women spent 10 years calling that creepy, and men adjusted to it. Now the same effort is missed, and nobody wants to say why it stopped. Men were listening the entire time, and we did what we were told, and now women are crying about it.
This window of like guys who would be friend zoned and just be waiting in the wings like little puppy dogs, waiting to like get a call from her to come on over and maybe hang something on the wall for her. Or maybe, make sure that this works or that works in her house, just hoping and praying that in doing that for her, she's going to somehow reward you with like a date or a night or something. And then she in turn says, oh, thanks for doing all that for me. See you later. Bye. Right. The guys got tired. Guys are done being friend zoned. They're done being used and friend zoned, invited over to these I don't need a man brats houses. Right. When they actually realize they do need a man and need something in their house fixed. And they're tired of going there and getting nothing out of it themselves. Why would a random guy come over and do all this stuff for you? For what, honey? Done being used and friend zoned, invited over to these I don't need a man brats houses, right? When they actually realize they do need a man and need something in their house fixed. And they're tired of going there and getting nothing out of it themselves. Why would a random guy come over and do all this stuff for you? For what?
The orbiter routine gets described in full here. The rides and the favors and the errands for a date that never comes. Those men weren't getting picked and most of them knew it. They stopped showing up, and that is the part that she cannot get over. Doing chores for a maybe was always a very bad deal.
Some of my theories why men don't approach women in public. Okay, number one, I think they have had a super horrible traumatic experience with like literally one woman. Like one woman really did them so dirty that traumatized them moving forward. Like they can't even move forward because they're still so hurt from the past one experience that they're moving from a place of hurt and not from like a healed perspective. 2, men have a very sensitive ego. And they rather protect that ego from it getting bruised just a little bit, just simply by a rejection from a woman, than to actually go and pursue something. Okay, and 3rd point. Men have it way too easy now with all the dating apps and Instagram and sliding into someone's DMs. Like, why would they want to do that in public when they can just choose the easy way out and do it through social media behind?
2 of her 3 reasons come back to a man's feelings being too delicate. Nobody's ego is the problem here. The consequences are men watched other guys get filmed and posted for saying hello to a stranger. Only the app theory is anywhere close.
I'm going to be honest, ladies. I'm not being funny. I'm being real. Some of these men just tired of women. They don't want to deal with women. They ready to deal with their dog all day. They ready to deal with their homies all day. I'm telling you, they come together with the same problem. Half these men got the same kind of issue. That's why they all can relate to the same thing. Half these guys play women and use women, they do the same thing. I'm just saying, that's why they get along so good. You don't see cheaters get along with cheaters. Yeah, you always see it. Player get along with a player because they both playing. And they both come up with a reason to play and get away with everything. Using women. When they can't use women no more, they upset. That's why they all mad. Women are not playing their sorry game no more. They're not playing their lazy game. No, they're not playing their just talking, not walking game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are walking, and you wait for her to walk and get it, come back and bring it to you. A lot of women tired of you and leaving you by yourself. The truth hurt.
He is not ranting, he is just done, and a lot of men will recognize it. Games cost time and money, and men stopped playing. Alone beats being managed by someone who enjoys the drama. Not one guy watching this is going to argue with that.
Women are asking men to be more emotionally open, but then they get shamed when they do that. So we have this great quote from Brene Brown where she says, we beg guys to open up, we beg them to let us in, and then when they do, we can't stomach it. And I heard that over and over in my research. There's this quote where a guy says, a woman would rather see me die on the white horse than fall off of it. And so there's this sense that I have to be perfect. I have to be the masculine and the feminine, but I don't have the skills to do that. And women say that they want these guys to be emotional, but as soon as they show emotionality, it can freak those women out. And so guys are getting a lot of mixed messages. We want you to be feminine. We want you to support us. But when you do, it freaks us out. And so we don't want that. I think it's that a lot of women want emotional support. They want you to support them in their emotional journeys, but they're not as ready to have you open up in your emotional journey.
Men get told to open up and then get punished the second they do. Every guy has tested that once and only once because only one time was necessary. Being told to share and then seen as weak for it is a trap. Most men shut the door and never open it again.
He's fucking tired. He's done coming home to your negative shit. Being told that he's selfish for wanting a shower after a 12-hour shift. Or selfish because he's sleeping so much of the weekend, or he's just being lazy because he didn't make any lunch boxes, or he's not taking the kids to school, or he's not doing this, and he's just there providing, protecting, but that's not good enough, or he's not worthy because he won't pay for your nails, or he needs to man up, but when he mans up, then he's a toxic male. Why don't you woman up? Woman the fuck up. There are plenty of women in this world that are looking after the kids, going to work, providing for their kids, women that are strong, standing there, being there for their husband, women that are there constantly trying to make everything easier for their husbands that are blue collar and working 12-hour fucking shifts, or military wives that we should have the utmost amount of respect for are doing it on a daily, and you can't do this?
A man finishes a 12-hour shift and wanting a shower gets him called selfish. Providing, protecting, and showing up every day still is not enough for some of these women. She is fed up watching it, and she should be. Those husbands have earned an hour of peace.
I'm at the point in my life where I don't care about women. And I'm not saying this like, oh, screw them. No, that's not the context of what I'm saying. God bless women. You know, they're very important. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of men depend on a woman's validation and acceptance to feel good about themselves as men. And that used to be me. But then I realized how dumb that is. Like, you got to get that from yourself by putting in work every single day and trying to get past your struggles. And now that I've accepted this and I've done this for a couple of years now, it completely has detached the need to have woman in my life. You know, like trying to go out on dates and meet new, like it doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm detached from it. I'm very focused on my life, and I'm not against, like, if I meet someone in public and we hit it off, that's cool. But if not, I'm not tripping about it. I'm cool.
Chasing stopped being worth the effort, and he says so here in a way without any bitterness. No woman's approval is holding up his mood anymore. Men who get to this point tend to get their focus back very quickly. Nothing in his life got worse when he stopped begging for attention or trying very hard for women who didn't deserve it.
And people might think I'm weird. People think people are like, oh, I bet you talk to girls and this and that. I'm like, no, bro, my phone's dry and I like it like that. Like, I'm focused on my business. I'm focused on being the best I can be, getting closer to God. If I meet someone, I meet someone. But like I said, I think that's the key, is just being detached and just live your life. And eventually, I think you attract the right people for you. And if not, then that's out of my control. So yeah, that's how I feel in regards to women, at least me interacting with them. I don't necessarily need it anymore. And I think women should feel the same way about men. But that's just me.
It's crazy how people will assume something is broken when a man's phone isn't buzzing. His busyness and his faith are getting that attention instead. That is not a problem that anyone needs to fix for him. If you would like to get early access to videos, weekly lectures, and case study breakdowns of human behavior, make sure you check out the members area link below in the video description. Otherwise, make sure to click on one of these videos on screen now if you enjoyed. Make sure you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.